Hello, welcome to Hometown Sit Down. I'm Carol Easley with Hometown Realty.
I'm Brandon Andrews with Hometown Realty.
And I am Lydia Bellipani with BankPlus.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're so welcome.
Lydia has a very good program to help us with possibly brand new home buyers. You want to tell us a little about it?
Right. That is our Credit Plus program with BankPlus, and it is to help people that have no credit and to help people that have bad credit. It is a tiered program, but we would love to talk with you about it. It's a 3-hour seminar that we put on that can be in person or can be online. It's a really great program, though. Yeah.
So in the state of Mississippi, at 18, you're graduating high school or maybe going, got that job, and they feel like, what in the world am I going to do? It's legal for me to buy a house, but I don't have any credit. I don't know. And they may not want to wait until they're 40 years old to buy a house.
Right, like me. Yeah, not be 80 to buy a house. Right.
Some people do. But you can come in at that young age. What could you do for somebody that young?
If they have no credit, they would have to go through our program, of course, and then once they get what we call our certificate, we can actually do a Credit Plus loan for them. You may, depending on if you have no credit, it may just be a $500 loan that we would do, and we hold that money then as collateral on the loan. It goes into a savings account then, and then when they pay the loan off, it's their money to have then. Or they may want to do it again, because you have to keep credit in order to, to own that credit all the time. I mean, basically you have to keep something going all the time in order to keep that credit going. So,
well, tell us a little bit about the seminar. Is that in person?
It is. It can be in person or it can be online. In person, we try and offer them quarterly around this area, and we advertise, that we're going to be doing it, but it is a 3-hour seminar. It goes by pretty fast, I think. It's a 3-part seminar. We teach you about what the program is and then how actually to save money and to also to keep the credit good, and if you have bad credit, how to improve that credit then. We kind of go over payday loans and things like that would be, that hurt your credit sometimes and you can't get out of that cycle with those payday loans.
Right.
So
once you get hooked into that,
right.
It's really hard.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Payday loans, I've always said they should have a series called To Catch a Predator.
There you go.
That kind of predatory lending. I mean, you just get in that cycle
and you cannot get out of it. And unfortunately, we see that a lot, at the banks. So.
And that's a good, life raft that y'all have that y'all can toss out and help people get out of that cycle.
Right. And I mean, we're teaching them, to have credit and also to build good credit, and if you have bad credit, trying to get out of that cycle then.
Right. If you had somebody with bad credit, so they come in and let's say they have $5,000-$6,000 in credit card debt, they didn't know, they went to college and they kept sending them offers and then they just kept going, it happens.
Right.
I don't have any experience. Anyway, never heard of it, can't relate.
Yeah.
No, so it happens. What's happening with their debt while they're in the seminar and then after?
We're trying to teach them in that seminar how to pay that debt off. Now, the Credit Plus loan, they may not come out with money or they may come out with a small amount of money. But during that time while they're trying to pay off all that debt, they have this good credit, that they're paying off. The payments are so small because the loan amounts are so small that they're able to build that good credit then with us. But we're trying to teach them how to get those credit cards paid off or not get those credit cards.
Right.
So what is the benefit of having good credit? Maybe people don't really even realize why.
Well, nowadays, even to have insurance, because your premiums are so high if you have bad credit. I mean, it goes from that point to up to be able to buy a house. Your cars, your interest rate's so much lower if you do have, good credit. Any of your loans are going to be better if you have good credit. Because, I mean, we see interest rates right now at 18% at our bank just because the credit's, bad. So, you'd think that would be more like a finance company, but we do see them that high.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's good stuff.
It really is.
And really necessary. So it's good. And two, in a traditional bank format, because TikTok, Instagram, all online, and then maybe a couple like political signs on the side of the road that says bad credit,
Right.
and they've got the quick fix.
Right.
That's not always the case, right?
It is not. It is not. And those things that you see on your credit cards that have your credit score on them, they're not always right either.
Sure.
So, I mean, that is something we talk about in the seminar. We go over all of that stuff. We can even incorporate how to do a checking account, because unfortunately there's so many people that don't even know how to, write out a check nowadays.
Right.
So we can incorporate that in the seminar we have before, do it for maybe a group of young people. We've even done it in high schools even, because you need to learn how to do that credit at an early age.
That's right.
So
and,
it is.
and use it to your benefit.
Right, exactly. Because, one of your goals is to own a home. I mean, most people it is.
Sure.
And you don't want to be like me, like I said, 80 years old and trying to pay off your loans because you waited till you're in your 40s to buy it. So, it would be a good thing.
Yeah.
And not have those credit cards, that you get in that cycle of having that credit card or those credit cards. Yeah.
Sure. For us, I mean, we're glad you came by, because we get buyers all the time that they need time to get their credit right, and then the next thing they ask us is how. And
Right.
Our human answer is pay your bills.
Right, exactly,
It's
yeah.
good to have a tool that we can point them to.
Right. And most banks, will at least sit down with customers and talk about it. We are for profit, but we sit down and we can counsel with them, look at their credit, if they know what it is or what, the problems they have, and go over it, because it's something we deal with every day.
And
So-
education is
Oh,
key.
yeah.
And
Education is
and y'all
key.
kind of stick with them a little bit, so
Right,
to speak,
right.
kind
And
of
they can
help
come
them
in at any time and we can sit down. And we have a great mortgage department at BankPlus. I want to plug that in. But you don't, you can stay on your couch and do our mortgage, there with BankPlus. But we do have that in office, that you can come in and sit down with us, and we can go over everything with you then. But this Credit Plus program, I think, is really great because, it gets you on the road to, go in the right direction then. Yeah.
Before you get bad credit, you can tell them how to get good credit.
Right. And if you do happen to have bad credit, we'll work with you then too. We may not be able to get you much money, but we can, work with you and maybe teach you a thing or two.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So a phone number, is there a local number they can call?
Well, we have a customer service number that goes into Jackson, but we do have local numbers.
Okay.
Like mine is, I'll give you my number, 601-258-6965, and that'll ring directly on my desk.
Awesome.
And then, if I'm not the person you need to talk with, well, I can get you where you need to be then. I've been there 19 years now, so, we can figure it out.
Lots of
So, yeah.
experience.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. I won't tell you how many I have in banking, but it's 45. So
Oh, wow.
I know it. Isn't that something? Yeah.
Well, we're glad you came by today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be here.
It's super valuable information, especially for buyers and and even a seller, because if a seller's selling, they got to move somewhere.
Right,
So their
exactly.
credit, who knows? They
Right.
may need some help too.
Right.
So we're glad you came by.
All right.
And we
Thank you
so
for having
much.
me so much. I appreciate it.